Welcome to the On Deck podcast for all your baseball DFS needs with your superstar hosts, fantasy baseball experts, Casey, Bubba, and Bogman. On Deck podcast is sponsored by LineStar app, the #1 top-rated data and analytics tool for daily fantasy sports.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the On Deck MLB DFS podcast, brought to you by the wonderful people at LineStar Sports. Make sure you check them out on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar MLB. And most importantly, download the app in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. You'll not regret it. All the tools you need in the palm of your hands to build your winning DFS lineups. You can find myself on Twitter at BDentric and my co-host, as always, on Twitter at Bogman Sports. Scott Bogman, how we doing?
Pretty good. I see that we have 10 more games to go tonight. Apparently, Jordan Lyles was the Cy Young winner tonight. Unbelievable. Great against the Astros. I didn't get my Altuve home run. Dude had 7 innings, 1 walk, no earned, 7 strikeouts against the Astros. So great for Jordan Lyles, bad for me.
Yeah, I mentioned yesterday, like, if you want to go full crazy, he's in play because he's actually been decent of late. I didn't roster him anywhere, but like, he's been really decent of late. I just wasn't going up against Houston, but hey, there you go. Take your chances. Overall pitching sucked. Really did. Like, Disco was a good one, but Montas got hit around. Cole was good, but not great. Not for 10-7. Great. Like, Luzardo couldn't strike anybody out. He had 2 strikes on so many batters and couldn't finish anybody. It was I was watching it on my phone, full tilting. So, yeah, it was a very, very interesting slate, to say the least. And the Yankees played home run derby, which doesn't end well for anybody that fades chalk. So it was just one of those evenings is the way things go. And we move on to a 10-game, like, Brandon Belt just got an RBI double. Won't count as a home run. Sorry, folks, but he got fantasy points. No swag. We get you swag tonight, I promise. But we got 10 games on a Wednesday. There's 4 games early, so if you need that, guess what? Check out the LineStar app. There's a chat room, all the great tools to get you ready for that as well. You'll get everything you need to build those winning lineups and get you ready for the 10-game main slate that kicks off with the Chicago Cubs at the Philadelphia Phillies. Alec Mills taking on Ranger Suarez. Over-under of 9 on this one. Mills is 63 on DK, 75 on FanDuel. Suarez is 72 and 88, and Suarez is definitely on my list tonight, Boxman.
He is also on mine. He's been getting deep into some games, get good pitch totals recently, so I'm in, which, that plus the fact that Chicago's terrible makes me in on him, which also makes me out on Chicago bats. But Harper, 3 for 5 with a double and a bomb against Mills, 3 for 5 for Real Muto with a bomb against Mills. Segura's been hot. Duvall went yard tonight. So that's what I'm picking in this game.
Yeah, Suarez absolutely love. Over the last month, the Cubs are striking out nearly 29% of the time versus left-handed pitching. So I'll take my chances there. Suarez is stretched out. We talked about him last time. Really throwing well. So I'll go with some Ranger Suarez for sure as my cheap option on this slate. And then, Harper, Herrera, and a couple others if you want. It's an expensive stack and a kind of wishy-washy stack. But even like a Harper one-off, as expensive as he is, has been beast mode. So I like that. Most importantly, Ranger Suarez on this game. New York Yankees at the Baltimore Orioles, where home run derby should take place again for the Bronx Bombers. No total on this one yet, but we got Nestor Cortez going up against John Means. Cortez is 79 on DK, 77 on FanDuel. Means 65 and 84. Nestor Cortez is on my list as well, Bogman.
Samesies. We're simpatico here. Like him against Baltimore. Last time out, he went 5 2/3, 1 earned, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks. So I like that. Means was decent against the Yankees the last time he played against them. 5 innings, 2 earned, 5 strikeouts. I'm just not really interested. I think there's, this slate actually has some pitching. Last night's slate did not have much of anything. If you want to go back to Yankees bats, I would not fault you. Stanton 4 for 8 with a bomb against Means. 3 for 7 for Gardner with a double. 3 for 7 for the shortstop Gio Urshela, and Judge, Gallo, Rizzo, Voit. Whoever's in the Yankees lineup, if you want to roster them, I'm good with that.
Yeah, you saw Judge, Stanton, Voit, Gallo all go deep on Tuesday night. And honestly, I would not be shocked because Gallo.
Somebody just told me it was the home run derby. So
it was impressive. But and I'm telling you, if you haven't seen them yet, go back and look at Elise Voigt's. My God, it was like the curveball looked like a slow pitch softball pitch, and it looked like a big dude that just kind of lifts his knee and just hits it as hard as he can.
Matt Stairs playing softball, right?
It was amazing. I'm just like, good God. But that could happen again on Wednesday. So, yeah, stack them up as you wish. Voigt's always my favorite because he's super cheap and crushes lefties, but they're all in play. I like Cortez because even when he gets hit around a bit, he'll give up a home run from time to time. He strikes out tons of guys. And the Orioles will strike out like 25% of the time versus lefties. So you got that going for you. If you want to stack Baltimore, sure, but I'm not. I want Cortez. I want some Yankees bats. And we move on to the next game on the slate, which is the St. Louis Cardinals at the New York Mets. Johnny Lester, Tyler McGill, over under of 8. Lester 61 and 7K. McGill's 92 and 78. Miguel has looked a little better of late. I think the $7,800 price tag on FanDuel is kind of intriguing for tournaments. He's not on my short list, but I could listen to a conversation on him.
Yeah, I mean, I like him just for the strikeout upside. And it's not like the Cardinals have been knocking the cover off the ball. Like the only guys that are hitting there are Tyler O'Neill and Paul Goldschmidt right now. So I would be in on him. The price is a little steep on DK. I'm with you there. So he's not my favorite, but he is on my list of pitchers here. No thanks for Lester. In this game, I mean, look, some of these guys have been hot, and Lindor is 5 for 16 with a bomb against Lester, 8 for 16 for James McCann with 2 doubles and 2 homers. So if he's in the lineup, I like him. Other than that, Baez and Conforto have been hitting as well, but and then, like I said, Goldie and Tyler O'Neill, that's about it for the Cardinals. Yeah,
McGill is a very intriguing tournament pivot off of some other popular arms on DK. I have zero problem with that play at all. That FanDuel price is very intriguing at 78.
Yeah.
I do like some of these Mets bats. I even stacked a little bit of them on Tuesday. Johnny VR, super affordable, switch hitting at the top of the order. Lindor swinging, like you said. Baez is my favorite play. He went deep again on Tuesday.
They're trying to get back into that wild card spot, man.
They are, and they're grinding and playing well. Baez is on fire. You always play a streaking hobby Baez. Just simple. Yeah. I looked at the I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but Razzball Player Rater. That's a season-long tool, so I think we're good. I looked at it like an hour ago. Baez is 24th offensively on that list.
God,
even though he strikes out as much as he does, that's how productive he's been. Like, it's crazy. So him and then Pete Alonso versus a lefty. Yeah, sign me up. So the Mets are an interesting stack, and they were all like less than 3% rostered on Tuesday. So people overlooked the Mets because they've been so bad most of this year. They'll be a little more popular versus Lester, I'd hope, but they still won't carry nearly as much weight as some other teams. Colorado at the Atlanta Braves. Antonio Sensatella, Huascar Yanoa, over under of 9 on this one. This is a tough one for me, boss, because Sensatella 77 and 9K, Yanoa 89 and 84. Both these pitchers have been very serviceable. Sensatella's been really good of late. I just don't know if I can trust either one of them in this game. Like, I'm intrigued, but I'm not in love with either one of them.
Yeah, I've been the guy on Sensatella recently, and I'm not doing it this time. He's on the road. For whatever reason, he pitches worse on the road than he does in Colorado. So no, thank you. You know what? I get it. 8,900. Who would you rather go with between Yanoa and McGill? It's definitely McGill.
Who? I think I almost want to go Yanoa just because the road Rockies, but they've been playing better of late. But I think I'd still go Yanoa because we've seen the ceiling from him be like really, really good.
I think I go McGill, but it's slight. So
yeah, it's very close, very close.
So they're both on the list. I would say that. But if you don't want to play either pitcher, I'll totally understand that too. Like you said, some of these Rockies have been hitting. Hampson, you mentioned yesterday, Ryan McMahon, TJ Crone, Elias Diaz. If you need a catcher, and then on the Brave side, it's Ozzie, Freddie, Duvall, Soler, and whatever. Do you have any other Braves you like, or is that the main group?
I'm kind of just crossing this game off unless you want some pitching. Because I respect these pitchers enough to not get blown up.
That's fair.
I could see them giving up a little but not get destroyed type thing, and that's not going to cut it to win a tournament. So I'm not there. The one thing, just a fun little quick trivia thing. Adam Duvall went deep tonight. I don't know if you saw it or not, but do you know how many home runs and RBIs he has on the season? Adam Duvall, of all people.
Well, I know he's leading the NL in RBI.
He has 35 home runs and now 101 RBIs. Adam Duvall.
Dude, I have him in all my season-long leagues and it's not because I love Adam Duvall. It's because he was hitting 3 for the Marlins, and it doesn't really, the Marlins weren't projected to be good, but they had. I have Jesus Aguilar in a bunch of spots too, and he has a bunch of RBI. It's just because 3 and 4 hitters are hard to come by. So
hey, it's something I know you talk about on ITL. I talk about on Bench with Bubba. We'll probably talk about on preview shows in the future on this bad teams. Heck, people know by now. Bad teams have fantasy relevant players. How many times I recommend the Tigers and the Rangers and all this stuff? Like,
the Orioles.
All the time. I'm a sidekick to the Orioles. Like I might as well have an outfit. I have you're a fan of the mascots. I got an outfit in my closet. So,
is it the crab?
No, it's the Orioles. I got the actual the Orioles, with the big beak and everything. I used to see me shake my tail feather. But yeah, it's fun stuff over there. But we move on. Cleveland at Minnesota. Cal Quantrill versus Griffin Jax. I don't want to get you too hot and bother with your mascot talk here. Ooh. Over under of 9.5 in this game. Cal Quantrill's 84 and 87. Jax 57 and 61. Cal Quantrill is one of my favorite players on the entire slate.
Yeah, a cheap price, 4 quality starts in a row. I'm absolutely with you. It's not like Minnesota's tearing the cover off the ball, so I'm in on him, which subsequently makes me out on Minnesota bats. There's not a lot here going for Cleveland either. So for me, it's pretty much Quantrill, and that's it.
Yep, I'm with you. I love Quantrill. Strikeouts continue to rise with him going against this bad Minnesota team. If you want to use a cheap Bradley Zimmer or get some J-Ram in your life, you can. I'm not really into stacking it, but Jax has been – you can stack against Jax from time to time. So if you want to go there, it could be one of those much, much lower rostered teams, but it's mainly Quantrill for me in this game. Houston at Texas. We have a fun one here as Greinke got blown up on Tuesday because that Texas stack. Yes. But we got Jose Urquidy going up against Koji Arihara. Over under of 9 in this one. Urquidy's 10K on DK, 87 on Vandal. Arihara's 55 and 64. I am not using either pitcher, especially the way they're babying Urquidy right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's just I don't understand this price at all from him. So no way in hell. So give me bats. Bregman, Siri, Altuve, Tucker, Alvarez, Gurriel. And then, another Ranger stack is nice. Yanni Hernandez, Nathaniel Lowe, IKF, Solak, Tavares, and then Garcia went yard tonight.
So did DJ Peters.
And TJ Peters too. Yeah.
He's always basically free out of all of them. So they had all kinds of, this was the night. I say it all the time. They do it like once a week. Maybe don't roster them Wednesday now, but I do like him because short Urquidy, who has not looked good since he's been back, plus that bullpen that's been used a lot lately for Houston. So they're going to be tired. So I think allow Solak, Peters, threesome I like. You can mix in some others if you want. I doubt the Astros get shut out 2 nights in a row. Just gonna throw it out there. Not the way this offense is playing, not against Koji Arihara and that bullpen. Just don't see it happening. So Astros are very, very live, pick and choose. I think I will say Bregman's still way too cheap. Way too cheap on both sides. Like that, they haven't adjusted to that just yet. We got 4 more games to get you going through this 10-game play. It's a little over halfway through the fun here. I want to remind everybody to check us out on the LineStar YouTube channel. You can get the On Deck podcast over there. You get the pre-snap show over there, which comes to you 3 times a week. We just dropped the recap episode and waiver wires for the week 2 preview for you over there on the pre-snap podcast. So check all that good stuff out. Or if you just prefer to listen to it in your ears and not see our pretty faces, I understand. But make sure you give a rate and review on iTunes. We'd much, much appreciate it. Help the podcast out quite a bit.
It's always fun to see someone's face finally when you've heard their voice and then go, what? That it's never like you were picturing it ever. So.
Or no, he is as big as he sounds on the radio. Yes, I get that a lot.
Yeah, he is as fat as he describes himself. Right?
Yes. There's no joking there. He's not a liar. Thank you. Or if you want to see me make fun of mascots and see Bogman get red, go check that out. Just throwing it out there because there's a deep story there. Deep story there, folks. Just gonna say it. Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim at the Chicago White Sox. This is the best pitcher's name. When I was doing research earlier, not deep read, but this is phenomenal. Jansen Junk. I'd go by JJ if I was him.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, this is the worst pitcher name since Blewett. It's like a kicker named Shank or Miss It or something. You know what I mean? Dong, just it doesn't make a lot of sense. So junk pitcher here versus Keuchel. I mean, who gives them
2 junk pitchers?
Yeah, exactly. 100%. So I mean, Ohtani, Walsh, Garcia, Grandal, Robert Moncada. I mean, I hate this game.
All the offense. Even Tony Gonsolin's was so bad. He hits lefties well. He took Giolito deep on Tuesday. It was just like, and he's free. So it's one of those games where you're going to get some nice value. I said the White Sox were too cheap on Tuesday. They popped off. Tim Anderson did come back. They already say he's going to play every other game. Lou Bob hit a moonshot hitting 6 with Anderson not starting most likely on Wednesday. He played back to the top of the order. But Eloy's cheap. Abreu's cheap. They're all too cheap. Gavin Sheets is playing all the time with Vaughn on the IL. He's free. Get your White Sox. That's all I have to say. Get your White Sox. They're gonna catch fire to get into the play. Well, they're already into the playoffs, but to work into the playoffs. So have fun with that one. Oakland Athletics at the Kansas City Royals. We got Sean Manaea going up against Mike Minor. Over under 8.5. Manaea 98 and 92. Minor 68 and 77. We just saw 17 runs scored between these two teams on Tuesday. Do you dare take a pitcher in this one?
Hell yeah. I'm going back to Manaea. It's because I thought he was running out of gas, and he heard me say that, and then has gone out and thrown 2 great games in a row. So I'll be back in on Manaea. And, if you want to go with A's bats here, I'm in on that too. Canna is 6 for 18 with 3 bombs against Minor. Chad Pinder is 5 for 18 with a double and a bomb. Marte, Olson, Andrus, Kemp. And if you don't like Manaea, Benintendi has been one of the better hitters in baseball over the last week or so. Nicky Lopez is good. With Merrifield is 3 for 5 with 2 doubles against Manaea. So I like some bats here, but I'm in on Sean.
Yeah, but I'm on a game stack here. I like both sides of this one. I think Manaea might be a little popular. It makes me like my Royals even more here with Salvi, who went deep again on Tuesday night.
He's going to hit 50.
It's awesome. And you got Whit Merrifield. You mentioned Benny and Lopez hitting well. Dozier sneaks in a home run from time to time. I get it on Tuesday night. So I don't mind a little Royals action, but I definitely like some A's as well. Kana, Marte, Harrison. There's a piece of Chapman's been swinging it well, so there's definitely options on both sides of the spectrum here. I think there's a lot to like in this game. That it might get a little more overlooked with the White Sox and the Yankees and Astros taking the pub, so you can have some fun in this one. San Diego at the San Francisco Giants. You got Joe Musgrove versus Scott Kazmir in this one. That's how nervous I was to even say Scott Kazmir starting for the Giants. Musgrove is 95 on DK, 94 on FanDuel. It does not matter what Scott Kazmir's price is.
This is the ultimate. We just clinched the playoff spot.
The problem is they still need to win the West. They still need to win the West. Like, I'm so pissed about this right now because I'm already picturing the Dodgers winning the West on the last day and the Giants losing the wild card game. I'm already picturing all of this.
For me, look, Musgrove is one of the better options on the slate tonight. 3 out of his last 4 have been quality. I like him here. This might be a let's rest everybody game for the Giants if Scott Kazmir is going out there. So now there is some PVB data. Brandon Crawford 3 for 6 with a double and a homer. Belt 3 for 7 with a triple and a homer. 3 for 5 for Tommy La Stella with a triple. And then, some of your guys have been hot here. Longoria, Yaz, Lamont Wade, Chris Bryant has been good. Nobody really good on the San Diego side recently. So pretty much it's just Musgrove. And that's all I'm going to be really interested in here.
This is 100% dependent on what lineup the Giants throw out for me. If they do rest a couple guys, which Posey rested on Monday, so I'd imagine he's playing Wednesday. Bryant rested Monday, but then Belt and Crawford might get a day off, or because they do. It's what they do. This is how they roll now, and I'm fine with it. It's worked so far. But depending on the lineup, it might get me more on Musgrove. If it's the normal standard lineup we saw on Tuesday, I won't be on Musgrove. But if it's kind of a resting situation, like you said, which very possibly could be happening, I'm on board with definite. Musgrove is a nice option here, so keep an eye on that one. And as much as I hate Kazmir, like Tatis and Machado are in play. They're the only 2 hitting him consistently right now. Like if you want to dig deeper to like a Myers or a Grisham who hits lefties fine, you can. I honestly don't think Kazmir goes that deep. I think it's another bullpen game that they've been doing 2 out of every 5 starts. Right. So I wouldn't be so excited. Like, hey, we're stacking against Kazmir. They better do it quick. That's all I got to say, because I don't think he'll be in for that long. All right, Arizona at the Los Angeles Dodgers wraps up our evening. Got Merrill Kelly coming off the COVID IL, going up to Luis Urias. Kelly 7K on DK. Urias 10-5 and 10-3. Urias is outstanding on this slate.
He's my favorite option. He has 11 2/3 innings against the D-backs in 2 starts this year. 1 earned run, 15 strikeouts, no walks. So absolutely in on Julio Urias. And then, if you want to stack some Dodgers against Merrill Kelly, I get it. Betts, Turner, Will Smith, Seager, Lux, Trey Turner, all these guys have been hitting. So they're always expensive. So you probably have to pick and choose out of that group. But I do love Julio Urias as my number one pitcher option tonight.
Yeah, big fan of Urias. He's not going to go over 100 pitches often, but he's going 5+ innings. He went 7 in his last start. His strikeouts keep coming up. This feels like the same thing we saw last year. The closer they get to the postseason, the more he just gets dominant and more dominant and more dominant. He's doing it right now. Like he's filthy. And so I'm all aboard that train because the D-backs, they get to it once in a while. Like a Med can be good versus lefties. Christian Walker's disappeared again after that little streak. Yeah, Ketel Marte and stuff. But as a whole, the offense does not terrify me. So I think if Urias is doing his Urias things, he's going to just slice and dice this team. So, yeah, I think it's a very good spot for him. Don't mind your take on the Dodgers bats. Will Smith went deep. Muncy went deep on Tuesday. Trey Turner went deep on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I prefer Will Smith and Muncy and Corey Seager, who's far too cheap. If you're going
that route. List all the Dodgers that hit homers. We get it.
Hey,
they hit homers.
I hate the Dodgers too. Okay, I hate them too. But I'm just gotta say they're all hitting home runs because they hate us all. But all right, that's 10 games. Let's recap things. Boggs, who are your top pitchers? Who are your Fab Five? Your 5 guys? What are you looking at tonight?
I got 3 main: Julio Urias, Joe Musgrove, Sean Manaea are my 3 main, and then a bunch of secondary guys to pick through: Quantrill, Ynoa, McGill, Cortez, and Suarez.
All right, I got 4 main arms that I'm targeting. It's Urias, Quantrill, Cortez, Suarez. Those are my main 4. But I will say Musgrove, McGill, Ynoa, like we talked about on the show, they make for intriguing GPP plays based on lineups and whatnot. So those 3 are in play, but I have a main 4 that I'll be starting with if we had to make lineups right now. So that's where I'm at. Who are you stacking up on this slate?
I like the Mets against Leicester. I like Atlanta against Senzatella a little bit. Houston against Texas. And Chicago and LA either side for the junk pitchers, like you said. And I like, no, that's it. I was going to say San Diego, but no one's hitting in San Diego. No. So that's going to be it for me.
I think the Mets is a sneaky nice one because I think they kind of get overlooked because the Yankees and the Astros and the White Sox will probably be the 3 hot spots to go to. I think the Angels and Mets make for 2 like sneakier plays, as you kind of mentioned. And then I also think that Oakland Kansas City game has some appeal to us as well. But if you just mix and match, I the more I think about it, I think I'm going to have way too much Mets exposure against Leicester. And then you can play the chalky guys and not worry about it. So I'm kind of leaning that direction right here and now as we talk about it some more. But more importantly, who cares about what I'm stacking up? Really, no one does. What they do care about is winning free swag. And how do you win free swag? That is by following LineStar on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar MLB. All the great stuff they tweet out there, but every Monday through Friday, they tweet out the home run calls of the day from Bogman, myself, and Ryan Humphreys. Humphreys hit first at bat with Aaron Judge on Tuesday. It's got some free swag for somebody out there. We'll try to get back. Bogman's been a free swag machine lately, so we'll try to keep that train rolling. But if you retweet the tweet, 3 lucky retweeters will get paired up with each one of us. If our guy goes deep, you'll win some free swag. So Bogman, Wednesday, September 15th, halfway through the month. Who you got for your home run call of the day?
Give me Shohei Ohtani against Dallas Keuchel. Let's go.
I'll be honest, did not expect that one. Impressive, because of all the games you're stacking, I did not expect that one. I am going to go back to the Mets. I'm going to stick to my guns here, going back to the Mets, and I'm going back to Big Meat Pete, the polar bear. Pete Alonso, taking Johnny Lester deep. I was really close to going with my boy Javi, but I'm going to go with Big Meat Pete going up against John Lester, taking him deep. You got Shohei Ohtani. I got Big Meat Pete. We'll see who Mr. Humphreys has as well, but should be a fun day. I feel at least 2 pieces of swag getting handed out, maybe 3. We'll see. Maybe I'll be shirtless on the show tomorrow night. You can only find out by watching the LineStar YouTube channel. Just saying, I don't wish that on anybody, but it's possible.
Dinner and a show. Let's go.
You could dessert as well, trust me.
Oh, wow.
But with that being said, make sure you check out Bogman on Twitter at Bogman Sports. I'm at BDentric. 10-game slate in the book for you guys. We'll be back again Thursday. Good luck.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the LineStar app On Deck podcast. Download LineStar app from the App Store or go to LineStarApp.com for all your DFS baseball needs. If you love the On Deck podcast, support KC, Bubba, and Bogman by rating and subscribing. Good luck.